Hi friends, since I've been down to the river, I've collected some river rocks and put them in a little bag here. And I'm gonna dump it out. And river rocks are an earth material that is a solid, which means they're very hard, they keep their physical shape, and you can classify them or sort them or describe them based on their physical properties, which are characteristics, things like color, size, shape, how much weight they have, how heavy or light, their texture, which means do they feel smooth or do they feel bumpy, if they're attracted to magnets at all, if they float or if they sink. So we're just going to do a couple little sorts, and then I'm going to give you some time to try some experiments with the rocks that you collect. When I'm looking at my river rocks, I'm thinking, well, obviously the first thing I could do is sort them by color. So I see a lot of them that are just very kind of whitish tan and not much else going on as far as color. I see others that are very dark gray, like these ones that I would probably put into a group. I think that's some of the same physical properties. You can probably go in that group. I see others that kind of have like a reddish or pinkish color to them, so I'm going to put them in a group. Dark gray maybe, yeah. I have a few that are brown. They may go in a group by themselves. Some that look kind of shiny pink or sparkly pink. We call that luster if there's sparkle. Or almost like a reddish pink. So they may go in a group by themselves. There's some like this that have a mixture of color in them and some patterns like little polka dots and things like this one. So maybe I'll make like a mixed group where you have any that have sort of, oh, there's another dotted one, sort of pattern to them. And just sort some of my rocks into some groups by some similar physical properties that they have. That might be in a group by itself. I'm not sure where to put that one. These are kind of a mixture of white ones. So right now I've got a couple different groups going for color, which is pretty cool. Not sure where to put these yet, but I've got a really great start, and I could easily explain to somebody how I sorted my river rocks. I've got ones with patterns like stripes and dots, some that have kind of a reddish pinkish color, some that are just dark gray, some that are more white, and some that are kind of brown. Another way I could sort them would be by size or by shape or texture. So I could even split the patterns up more and look for just dots or just stripes. Texture means if it feels smooth like this one, or this one or this one, I would put all of my smooth ones maybe in one group together because they're very, very smooth. If it feels rough or bumpy, like this one, which really kind of feels like sand grains, it would be in a different group because it is not smooth at all. Same with this one. So I may have a bumpy group, a smooth group, maybe sort of a medium group that's not smooth but not as bumpy as those ones, and there's just a few little hard edges around the rock. Or maybe they feel smooth but not as silky soft smooth and shiny. So this one is pretty smooth. There's not a lot of bump, but it feels different than this one. So I would maybe put it in a group by itself. Another way I could sort my rocks by their physical properties, like I said, could be the shape, could be the size, which pretty easy. We have some that are very large that could be in a group, some that are very small that could be in a group, and we might have a medium-sized group, right? And sort all of my rocks into those groups. I could also do sinking or floating, which I may do in another experiment, or I could do softness and hardness, or luster, how shiny or how dull. Example, this one would be pretty dull. It would not have a lot of luster, so that could be my dull group. And maybe one like this one or this one, they have a little bit more shine and sparkle to them. This one's kind of hard to see in the camera, but they may be in a whole nother group that I say, yeah, they have sparkles in them. So I may have a shiny or sparkly group, and a dull group. I could also see which rocks break easily, like this one, and make a soft group versus a hard group, or test out which rocks are able to mark on my plate and make a mark as far as writing, because if they make a mark like this, that means that it's a softer rock. If it doesn't make a mark at all, it's a very hard rock. You could also take your rocks and scratch them together and see if you get any dust. And if you get dust from one of them, that means it's a softer rock than the other one. So lots of cool ways that we can sort our rocks by their physical properties.